Says we're loading. I hate to start too early just in case it's still loading. I think it's working. Great. Happy Monday. I haven't had a chance to do a live stream in, gosh, it's probably been a month. It's probably been a full month. September is very, very, very busy in the Depict Data Studio and Emory world. And literally today, I'm teaching a class from 9 to 4, and we're on lunch break right now. And I'm going to show you the table right now. I'm going to show you the table that we're going to be working on. Okay. I saw this table during the class that I'm teaching right now, and I was like, this is my favorite thing in the world. I love turning tables into graphs and even leaving them as tables for quick wins. So I asked the person who shared this, I was like, could I live stream this since this is public facing? Like, can I play around with this on our lunch break for maybe 30 minutes? And like, I have some ideas in my mind. I'd love to see if I can bring them to life. And she was like, like, you don't even have to make up fake numbers. Like, this is public. Go for it. Okay. So I am going to take this before one that I have recreated just the first, 9 or 10 entries here. And we're going to see what we can create. Okay. But because I'm like literally on the lunch break right now, I'm going to be watching the clock very carefully because I have to teach a class to like 45 or 50 people again later. And it's always good for me to do live streams when I am on a scheduled time. Otherwise, you know me, I will just make graphs until midnight. The time just like, I'm usually not looking at the clock. So okay, what are we gonna do here? So I'm gonna give you a list of some of my ideas. And the spirit of this is like one page out of many in a PDF. This is just the supports for infant feeding page. There are other pages that go over national patterns and like patterns over time. There's all that stuff. This is gonna stay as a table. It's not gonna turn into like a bunch of graphs. It's just gonna be like a half graphed table, a table with some quick wins. I'm totally, totally fine with the medium that it's in. I'm just trying to think of like, okay, we've got like words. What can we do here? So one idea is we can use state icons on the far left. And then, you know what? I will put these under the column that they're going to go with. Okay, state icons, I'm envisioning there. This score out of 100, I want to do some type of like stacked chart, like showing 82 out of 100 or 76 out of 100. The paid family and medical leave, unfortunately, in the US, those are often small numbers, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. That's the state of things in the US. Because that's a small n viz, I want to do some type of like tallies. I'm thinking. I think I want to do tallies there. Tallies with the pipe. And then this column has partially met, fully met, did not address. I think those are the only three, fully, partially, and then like not applicable. I don't know if there's another one like did not meet. Oh, I guess that is did not meet, did not address. Yeah, you're either partial, full or partial or none. So there's some type of icons there. It might be like circles, circles like this. N N, maybe there's something about this with like maybe some shading to them. Like maybe it's like this. Maybe I don't know if I can make these automatically show up in a color, something like that. Like that wouldn't, but if you're zero, it's zero. It would only be out of three circles. Zero partial. That's weird. Two circles is not the best. I don't know. I don't know. That's the point of this live stream is to think about all this. Okay. I tried putting this PDF, having Copilot turn it into an Excel file for me. It couldn't. It was giving me numbers from other pages of the PDF. So again, we're just doing it for these, but anything we're doing here should not mess up the page breaks. Look, we have enough space in this page. We can easily add some quick fizzes without like needing more pages. Okay, so this is the before, and let's start with the after. All right, after. So first I'm gonna do some decluttering because I need to make space for the vizzes. So I'm gonna have to get rid of Gotta keep my thought process as I go, right? I'm gonna have to get rid of all of the background shading. And I'm gonna get rid of all the color. And I'm gonna get rid of all of the borders. Great. Okay. What should we do next? Should we add some state icons next? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that's gonna be fun. I love this part. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. Okay. I think they're gonna go right there in their own column of the table. And where do I have state icons? Let's go into my files. Let's find some. They are here. I'm going to use the state face font. You all know I love symbol fonts. I love quick wins like this. I think I have my lookup table right here. State snapshots. So I don't have to type in like a T is this state and a N is this state. Okay, let's copy paste this lookup table into here. So I want to look up the state name and I want to return the letter, which is going to turn into the icon. I don't know what color the icons are going to be yet. They might just be gray. I don't know. TBD. TBD on the colors. What am I doing? An X lookup? I'm looking up the thing to the right of it, so therefore VLOOKUP doesn't work. And I'm going to have to change national to US. I already see that problem. And I'm looking it up under this table, and I want the thing in the third nope. I'm doing a VLOOKUP format. Nope. That's my Monday brain. Okay. I'm looking up these states and I'm returning these things. And if it's not found, well, it shouldn't be not found. It should be all found except for the national one. In my lookup table says US. That's okay. I'm going to change that in the lookup table. That's going to be let's call that national for consistency. Great. And those are going to be good old state face and maybe like gray. They're not the star of the show. They're just there for like a little bit of visual interest. Okay. They're like itty bitties. Okay. These are scores out of 100. Are they not? Let's read about these. Okay. The score 2024 out of 100. Where is footnote A? Footnote A, probably on the next page that I don't have. That's okay. I know they're out of 100. That's what I need to know here. Total, oops. Let's keep doing this in phases so then I could admire it when I'm done and make sure I made it better and not worse. Let's do scores out of 100. Okay. I should make all these columns bigger so I don't have to keep doing it every time. There we go. Scores out of 100. Let's make some space. Let's do an Alt Enter. Out of 100, 2024. Something like that. Something like that. These will be merged. I feel like I merged too early. Are these left or right aligned? I don't know. TBD. We are going to do an equals that value next door to repeat it. We're going to do some data bars on top. Data bars right here. What color are we going to do? I don't know yet. I don't know. Show bar only. Number. I wonder if anybody can have a 0 score. I wonder if this scale needs to go from 1 to 100 or 0 out of 100. Let's say it starts at 0. Okay, we're going to go up to 100. And what color are we doing? Let's just do brand purple for now. We might change it to something else later. Easy to change. Okay, these would be purple for consistency, so people know that the number goes with the bar. And I think I want to add some gray shading to make it more of a stacked appearance. This gray? Yeah, maybe that one. It looks like a big gray blob. Let's add some borders. Thick, white, inside. Okay. That when we're done, it's going to need like breathing room like that. You know, that's going to be narrower, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's do this one. Okay. Copy, paste. Let's make sure Anne Emery is making it better. What is this one? Weeks. Small n. Small n weeks. We either don't have that data or it's something's up with that data. We have like a dash. That's okay. That happens in basically every real life project. We don't have a complete data set. I'm not going to let that stop me from visualizing the ones we do have. I think I'm going to put that over here as well. I'm going to repeat the pipe. Let's try the pipe. And that many times. I want a text before that, and the delimiter is a space. What's it going to do to the dash? If it's a dash, leave it blank. I have to if this someplace. The goal is one good formula that goes down. Okay, these are decent. Let's make that a second brand color for now. I don't know. Is that tallies? Typically, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is 12 too big for a tally? Let's if this one first. Weeks of paid family medical leave. What is the full column header we need here? We need it to say available for the care of a new child, 2025. Okay. Available for the care of a new child, 2025. That is a lot of words. Would this be bold? Like that? That's too colorful. I don't know. Again, we'll see about the colors. Let's do an if in here. If that equals a dash, then add another dash. Yeah, let's do a dash. Otherwise, we're going to repeat this whole thing. Great. And let's make conditional formatting. If it is, should we gray these all out? And then if it's a pipe, make it dark? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. A pipe is not red, a pipe is dark. Because I'm dulling the hyphens. Should we make them bold too? Maybe, I don't, it's hard to tell, but this is gonna, there's gonna be what, like 25 of these. I think bold. Okay, great. So if in the future you're like, oh, we have Alaska's data here, it all fills in. It's all linked. Okay, let's try. Oh, you know what? Should we use tallies? I mean, I think so because otherwise it's not this. It's not circles. These are too big of numbers for circles. Do you see where circles just like don't work? I think we need pipes. I think I feel okay on pipes now that I looked at circles. Okay, let's do the last one. And what is this one that we're doing? We are doing the partially, fully, not at all one. Did not meet. What are our three categories? Partially, fully, did not address. Okay, what are we gonna do there? What are we gonna do? Partially versus fully versus did not address. I don't know if did not address means like 0 or it means like not applicable. I'm trying to avoid having to read a long PDF report and find all those details. Hmm. Let's do over here. And what is this column header? This column header is supposed to be encourage and support breastfeeding. New line, state center-based ECE licensing standard, new line 2023. Something like that. Okay. Mhm. If you're watching live, welcome. I can't see who you are, but I can see we have people here. So please say hello in the chat on YouTube if you want. Let me know how you're doing. Hopefully, you're having some nice lunch. Got my protein shake and my seltzers as usual. My favorite snacks that give my brain all the data viz boost. All right, partially, fully did not address. So the first thing that came to mind was circles in webdings where everything's grayed out and then like the fullies are fully covered in. Let's do like another brand color here. Something like that. But then the partially, is that like 2 out of 3? It's not that looks really busy, doesn't it? It's not that. Okay, that's okay. You know what? We're just gonna make a list. We're gonna make a list of ideas. So that meh. Um, is it that these are all two circles next to each other is not my first choice for shapes because it looks like breastfeeding. It looks like boobies. So I don't think we're gonna do this. And what are we gonna do here? Is it's some version of conditional formatting icon sets, but without these terrible, horrible ones. It's not, I don't think let's look at these. Okay, it's not arrows. It's not stoplight coding. It's not checks and X's necessarily. It's not stars. Kind of in the sense that like we need a partially filled in shape. I think I'm gonna have to read the dang report and understand partially fully did not meet. I want to know if the did not meet thing did not address. Does that mean like 0? Or does that mean not applicable? Does that distinction make sense to you? That's the distinction that needs to make sense to me. We need to do where is our report? Okay, here is our report. What are our categories? D. We need to find the D. Where is a D? Just trying to avoid reading that in tiny, tiny font. Let's read it. Okay. There's another category in here, contradicted. Does anybody have contradicted? Fully, partially, did not address, or contradicted. That's diverging. You're either on the kind of fully and partially are on that side. Contradicted is on that side. And the did not address is like nowhere. Like neutral, like they didn't address it, but maybe they should have, maybe they could have. I don't know. I don't know. Did anybody in the table say contradicted? No. Partialies and fullies. A couple did not address. Did not address. Should we leave that as a dash? It can't be a dash if that's a dash. Oh, seven. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. Fully, partially, did not address. Fully, partially, did not address. I don't know. It's been a long weekend for Anne Emery. Um, this this is kind of right. Doesn't this almost make your eyes hurt though to look at all these circles? This one, you can't keep the two circles next to each other. Are we gonna do two squares? Um, okay, let's at least if statement this. If that equals a dash, then we're gonna keep it as a dash. Otherwise, if that equals partially met, can we at least get rid of partially and fully? Um, met, that's just too repetitive. Met state center-based ECE. Okay. Partially, fully. I think, yeah, that should be okay, right? Getting rid of the redundancy. Okay. If this says partially, then um we do like blah, 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 blah. Instead of two circles, can we try two squares? It doesn't look like boobs. I mean, there's nowhere else, there's no way to like say that more appropriately. I don't know how to say that more appropriately. Circles don't work with this topic. Let's do a square. Do we do two squares? No, it has to be this could work. Does this work? I don't know. If it's a dash, leave it as a dash. If it's a partially, make it G. Other, too many G's. If it's a partially, have a G. You're going to see the G's in a second. Otherwise, do it a GG. Is that right? That looks like I need more parentheses. That stays as a dash. These are G's. Webdings G's. Now we don't have, oh, that's interesting. That shouldn't be Webdings. Okay. I wonder if I can conditional formatting the font. Um, text that contains. Okay, if it's a dash, then we are going to make it not Webdings. We're going to make it, oh, you can't conditional format the font. Huh, okay. Whatever. This is one. We're just going to do it by hand. Um, we're going to unwebdings that one. Great. Presence of one square versus two squares, partially, fully. Do we need to do, I don't know if that's the winner. Oh, I have like 2 minutes left. Okay, let me just generate like a idea more. And then I want to like format this so it looks like a table. Okay. Circle, three circles, two circles, the number of squares versus, is it like filled empty? Ooh, maybe it's filled empty. Okay. Yeah, yeah, duh. Yes, it's gotta be. It's gotta be, right? Filled empty. Okay. If it's a dash, leave it as a dash. If it's a partially, make a C. Otherwise, make a G. I think it's a filled empty. Is this right? Meaning, is this understanding the data correctly? And then does that mean partially? No, that means presence absence. It's not a filled empty. That means binary. Um, is it this with shading? It's that with squares. How do I build this with squares? It is this I did by hand. I mean, I know how to do it by hand. I just want to do it in a formula. I make them all G's, and then the partialies are grayed out, something like that. Like that one's gray, partially, partially. That's probably the most accurate. That implies it's like out of two. I don't think the person who made this table would I want accuracy. I don't think I'd get their stamp of approval here. But do you all see what I'm kind of trying to do? It's like some type of icon set. It's not these, that's out of four. It's not necessarily is it a pie? Is it a pie? Empty, half full? Maybe it's that. Maybe it's one shape. Um, I don't think I've actually ever used these. How do I make them fill in? I need to have data in here. Do I need to say like if that's, do I need to turn into like ones and twos? Like that's a zero. I think so. And then, oh, maybe they're relative. And then fullies, let's call it two. Oh, no, that's weird. That's the opposite of what I want. I think it's this. I think it's one shape that's partially or fully filled in. Yeah, duh. Duh. That's what it is. Hence the point of all the brainstorming. Okay, 12:47. I've got a couple more minutes. I don't have to start my class till 1 for our lunch break again. And this is obviously like directly relevant to class. So I think this is okay. This is a zero. So these are gonna be twos. Twos means partial? What is this? One, no, one means partial. Yeah, twos mean fully. Okay. Can I make this all in a brand color? Those don't change colors. That's so ugly. And don't they look grainy? They look like they don't even have like straight lines around them. What can I do to edit these? I want to, okay. I want to do a full when it's a two. And I want to do a this one when it's a one. And I want this one to just go away. Um, well, that should be okay. Show icon only. Yes, but I want them colored. I don't want them black and white necessarily. Um, what was here before? This was fine. This gave me the right numbers. It's doing percents. Show the icon. Why can't they be colored? I think these, even though they're black, I think that's still the right shape. Oops, that was weird. Um, oh, that's weird. It's doing them relative to one another. Okay, is that right? Yeah. This is my favorite of the batch. Okay, let's do a final version. Final draft ideas. Okay, we are gonna do let's zoom in so I can actually see. That column is gonna be narrower. Let's turn off the grid lines. Nope. Not yet. Okay. This is going to be narrower. Is that? Yeah, that's merged. That's going to be some breathing room. That's going to be narrower. That's going to have to be taller. Maybe we can't do the line break right there. And this one's going to be a moon, a moon shape. Okay. And turn off the grid lines so we can just do gray horizontal lines across. Let's see what we think. This is looking a little busy to me. I'm not liking the black and white moons. Gray inside across like that. Whoops, I still need the white lines here so it doesn't look like a big blob. Thick, white in between. These sure do grab a lot of attention, and they're all so high too. That's tricky. What would this look like PDF'd? Let's see if it's even just way too wide. View, no, page break view, print area, view the page break view. Way too wide. That is a long word right there. Long label. How did they fit this in real life? The font size doesn't look too small. How did they fit all those words up there? Why am I not able to fit all those words up there? Maybe their font size was smaller than mine. Because that looks, I'm just not able to fit all those words very easily. That's like the tallest column header in the world right there. Oy, that's terrible. That looks still. Um, yeah, maybe this in the real version was like littler. I hate to make the font size go down, but maybe it was smaller. Okay. Hey, that is just so full. Let's take a peek at the print view. These are just distracting me from everything. Okay, let's do a recap. And then I'm going to stop and I'm going to go teach my class again. Okay, here is our before version, which is a page of this public facing report about early childhood nutrition. And somebody who's in a class today, in a full day virtual class with me, had worked on this report. And I was like, oh, could I spend my lunch break like zhuzhing up this table and bringing it to life? And I wanted to keep it as a table because the rest of the report has graphs about national patterns and big picture takeaways. This is, it doesn't need to be like not be a table. It doesn't need to be a map. It needs to be a table. I just wanted to add some quick visuals here. So I recreated just part of this table, kind of the top part, the first 9 or 10 entries, right there, just like typing in by hand. So if you notice any typos, like my apologies, that was an accident. I tried to get the numbers exactly right. And then I quickly brainstormed some viz ideas. So like for this column, that is like what a quick win to add some state icons. For this one, these are scores out of 100. That could be a bar chart or a stacked bar chart showing the out of 100 score. The weeks of paid family and medical leave, those are small numbers, either like none, like a dash, which I think just means like we didn't have the data or it wasn't part of this policy or something like that. Or what did we have? We had a 7, we had a bunch of 8s, we had 12s. Nothing was higher than 12, fortunately, in the US, although that's not surprising to anybody watching this. That could be tallies with, that's a small n scenario, icon stacks or tallies. And then this one, we had a few different categories of what did we have? Like something about like a did not meet or did not address, partially, fully, or there was another category in there like opposed or diverging or contradicted, something like that. There were some categories. Okay, so I recreated everything, quickly brainstormed some ideas, and then I went through step by step. So the first thing was I decluttered the table, removing the fills, removing the font colors, removing all the lines, starting with a blank slate. And then I added some state icons, not by hand, but these are through a lookup table, which pulls in the state face font. I think that's what stay gray. I don't think those would be colored. They're not the star of the show. They're the sidekick. And then I went to the next column and I thought about the out of 100 scores. It could be bars, could be stacked bars. These are all fairly high numbers, though, which is not a bad thing. I think you just see that, like, oh, they're all fairly high. There are some states that stand out among the others, but it's not like you have like a 21 or a 6 or something. Like they're all fairly high numbers, which is great. I think higher means better here. And then I thought about that next column, the number of weeks. This is what tallies would look like. This is the pipe behind the scenes. And this is just a repeat function. Because the idea is like you do one good formula at the top, but then you could fill down and you could fill in for all 50 states, not doing it by hand. And then finally, this is the one where my brain kind of like puttered out a little bit, the partially, fully did not address column. I thought, okay, is it like 3 sets of circles? Is it 2 sets of circles? Is it squares stacked? Is it squares filled or empty? I thought that was going to be the winning design, but it's too binary. I tried like some gray shapes. Maybe it's these kind of like moon shapes. I don't love that these look a little blurry and grainy and low res and that I can't seem to change the color. But I think that data wise, this is the most accurate of being one shape. It's either like partially filled in or fully filled in, I think, based on like, this much context that I have about what this even means. Okay. And then formatted with, like the column widths and everything adjusted. Maybe something like this. I kind of halfway like this. Like this was like a quick lunch break exercise for me. And as usual, I would like sleep on it and come back to it and then do some more fine tuning. I think we're getting there. Yeah. With the visual superiority effect, people would look at this versus the black and white words one. People would look at this one first for longer, remember more from it. So I'm always trying to turn tables into graphs, even quick graphs like this. All right, I got to go teach my class now. We're starting up at 1 o'clock. It's all about data storytelling with a group of about 50 scientists. Really nice group today. Lots of really good examples. Lots of inspo all over my notebook for all sorts of future live streams, in all my spare time. Um, if it would be helpful to you to have this Excel file, let me know, and then I can make it available, later after my class by maybe you'd like click in the description or check the first comment or something and grab it. But yeah, comment if you want it, and I can share it with you. Bye, friends. See you later.